What's up, family? Welcome to another episode of Mediazewtv. And in this episode, Charleston White talks about the time he took on the Fort Worth police and wound up committed to a mental hospital. Go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
You made white people mad. And when you make white people mad, it's a totally different mad than black people mad.
I done made them mad before. I just wasn't as big. You know, I went against our local police department when Dacian Steptoe killed Officer Garrett Hull. Mm-hmm. So that was really my claim to fame to the internet. Is when I was on Facebook and I became frustrated from working in the community. You know, black people started making me feel like, man, you selling out, you pandering to the Republican Party. So, homie, I was real big in the Tarrant County GOP Republican Party, as well as the RPT Republican Party of Texas, as well as the National Republican Party. So, homie, I was a rock star amongst white people, and I had started using the word online. So I was transitioning from being clean cut, bow tie, shirt tail tucked in to start growing a fro, my dreads. So I started using the word because I saw how offensive it was. So
ER or
NA. The word to a lot of people there's no difference than ER or A. It's the term. So that's probably one of the most powerful words in the English dictionary. One of the most powerful offensive word in the English dictionary. So I use that word as a tool to make white people uncomfortable, to make black people uncomfortable. So it's a very uncomfortable word. So nigga, I started out squabbling with white people because this before the Black Lives Matter movement just really took off. I quit squabbling with white people because niggas wasn't ready to die. Every police shooting, homie, I never seen a group of niggas that was ready to die. I noticed that we don't have no crash outs. The little white kid that killed Charlie Kirk, he a YN, but he a white YN. That's their crash out. The 19-year-old Dylan Roof, they got crash outs. So if you look at all the most recent mass shootings in the last 2 years, it's been young white boys who know how to operate guns to go kill people. So I said, man, I quit squabbling with white people, and here's why. Because when Dacian Steptoe killed Officer Garrett Hull, they executed him on the spot. So they hunted him all day long. He had been committing robberies. He had been robbing Mexican bars. And I was partnering with Fort Worth Police Department at the time with this new federal national initiative that they had that was called a 21st Century Community Policing. So they were doing a national initiative with this term called procedural justice, and procedural justice was supposed to make cops more empathetic, more sensitive to the struggles in the history of black people in our relationship. Well, the Fort Worth Police Department, obviously this is something officers had a pushback, and then the black community didn't want to get involved in it. So they used me to be a spearhead. So I bought into it, I believed in it. So during this time, Dacian Steptoe kills Officer Garrett Hull. They should have been arrested him, but they already had a warrant for him. So they followed him around all day long. Let me speed this story up. They followed him around all day long, watched him go into a bar, had undercover officers in the bar, and when they came in to rob, they put everybody's life in jeopardy rather than stopping him and going to the bar. So they allowed them to go into the bar, freeze, everybody get down. And then the police, freeze, it's the police. So Dacian ran out. Officer Garrett Hull chased him. In the process, he fired one shot and killed Officer Garrett Hull. So you got to think, I got homie, at this time, I'm good friends with the president of the Fort Worth Police Officers Association, Rick Van Houten, Deputy Chief Ty Harris, Deputy Dean. I'm cool with Chief Joel Fitzgerald. So I'm having regular meetings with these top ranking brass. So when this happened, I couldn't believe that the police would execute him and not bring him to justice. They killed him on the spot. So they didn't put him in handcuffs. They shot him in the foot. He had literature marks where they choked him. He was a little skinny nigga like me. They broke his arm in two. and they shot him in the chest because Officer Garrett Hull was their sergeant. He was the leader of the SWAT team, and they called him Rambo. He had spent 3 tours in Iraq, so he was a bad motherfucker in law enforcement world. So for Dacian to kill him, that was a blow to the SWAT team. So yeah, they killed Dacian. So I get a call from Dacian's stepdad, who's a good friend of mine, a guy by the name of Supreme. And they tell me what happened. They wouldn't let the mother or the father see the body. So I realized if you make the police mad, you kill a cop, kind of like what's going on now, you really don't have no rights. So rather than me continuing to align myself with the police because they wrong in this situation, I align myself with the family. When they had Officer Garrett Hull's funeral here in Fort Worth, Texas, tens of thousands of law enforcement from all over the country came here, but they was also threatening the family. The law enforcement, police like a gang, homie.
Mm-hmm.
You do something to him.
The biggest gang.
Yeah, so they was threatening the family. They threatened all the black preachers, and they wouldn't have, most people don't know the civil rights movement didn't come to Fort Worth, Texas. It came to Dallas. Dr. King had to sneak and come to Fort Worth. He couldn't openly come. So the Fort Worth, Texas have never had a black civil rights movement. So the black people there are very subservient. They've never bucked white people in Fort Worth, other than a few street guys. So I started bucking. I started bucking, and I started going online promoting cop killing. But let me just say this. I had got into it with police during a city council meeting a week or 2 weeks before Officer Garrett Hull got killed. And I made a post online that I said, I pray in the name of Jesus that a Fort Worth police officer dies in the line of duty. And then I said, and then it was a councilwoman by the name of Gina Bivens. I also made a public prayer in the name of Jesus that Councilwoman Gina Bivens have a heart attack. Both of those happened within 2 weeks.
Wow. Is this the viral when you're in the...
Just the time I was going to the city council with nigga on my shirt, hollering about I wish we can rape white women. So homie, I had already been bucking white people, but they know me. So it's like the straight A student all of a sudden just turned gangster and they say, man, something happened to Charleston. So nigga, I'm bucking white people in a way.
When you said those two things and they happened, did people, I mean... Yeah.
So let me tell you what happened. So when that happened, homie, I started calling downtown, I wasn't making threats, but I was saying, I called and told David Cook, who was the city manager of the city at the time, that I hope his daughter grow up and marry a well-hung black man who beat on her and have anal sex with her rough and real hard after you kick her ass and make her like it and lick her tears. So I was just calling down there because this is what I understand. My mouth is deadly. My words hurt just like punches. Nigga, I have a way of articulating words and delivering words to make you feel like I hit you. And it'll activate those kind of emotions. So I know that. I know that's a strength that I have in speech delivery. So I know how to use words as weapons. And it make other people respond to want to hurt me. So I'm calling downtown doing this. So then I'm going online, marking the death of Officer Garrett Hull. I'm marking his wife, his widow, his 2 children. So I'm doing just what I did to Charlie Kirk, but I did this to law enforcement. Just what I'm doing to Charlie Kirk, just what I did to King Von, Gilly Kid's son, I did the same thing to the Fort Worth Police Department. So they
Cop was white?
Who?
The police officer was white?
Yeah, he was white, and he was killed by a black kid. Yeah, a gangster. He was a gangster. See, he went across the railroad tracks and was robbing Mexicans, the immigrants that can't call the police. So one day I get kidnapped by the police, and I call it kidnap because I got pulled. They watched me all day long. So up until that day, because of the rhetoric that I was using on social media and on Facebook and coming downtown with that same rhetoric, I was under constant surveillance from law enforcement because of my rhetoric had went from talking President Trump to nigger, kill white folks, rape white women, shoot white babies. They need to shoot. So homie, I started praising school shootings. I started going downtown, yelling out during lunch hour that Timothy McVeigh is my hero, that I can't wait till we start raping white women. So you even hear me say that to our mayor, say, I came down here to do that because that's a form of fighting back. It's called uncivil disobedience. You can have civil disobedience, but I'm being uncivil, but I'm not breaking any laws because I'm not threatening. Yeah, cussing is a disorderly conduct. So my rhetoric had changed, homie. So they put me under surveillance, sat on me all day long. I was sitting at the classy lady, decided to leave one day, and when I look up, I got a bunch of cars following me. So I make a right going toward Ramey. I get pulled over by undercover cars, the police. Now normally I could jump out the car and be like, man, what y'all pulled me over for? And at this time I was driving a 300 Chrysler, the 300 Chrysler M before they turned it into the Bentley style. So I had that Dodge Intrepid looking motherfucker, but it was like the Dukes of Hazzard. I had to reach outside the door to open the car door, but the windows didn't let down. So I had to open the car door and say, hey man, free, get back in the car. Nigga, this is something different, because they had never treated me like that before. So when they put me in the car, they said I was being arrested for a broken tail light. And I ain't gonna say his name, but one of the NPOs said, Charleston, you must have pissed somebody high up off. I said, man, you already know they are. So they took me to jail. And I called Lisa Pamplin, who's a very well-known attorney in the city. Hey, Lisa, man, I just got arrested. She said, for what, Blue? Because they called me Blue. I said, a broken tail light. She said, what? Her what alarmed me. She said, what? I said, yeah, man, a broken tail light. She said, man, don't say shit. I'm on my way. So this is where at times I talk too much. Before we hung up, I said, say, Lisa, whatever you do, don't let these motherfuckers Sandra Bland me. So about 30 minutes later, the arresting officers, they all come back. But I've been in the holding tank for an hour or two. So when they come from the back, I'm saying, man, what these motherfuckers doing still here? But they got a stack of paperwork. They done went and got all my social media posts. Where nigga, we keep bragging about killing white men, kill police officers. They went and got all them social media posts. And they came to the door and said, come on, Charleston, let's go. I said, go where? The exact words, we transferred you to the mental asylum. And he had a smirk on his face. I said, man, you know I'm an arrogant nigga. Yeah, I'm a very egotistical nigga. So I walked out that motherfucker, man, y'all finna lose y'all motherfucking job. Y'all done fucked up. But before he transferred, before he said I was being transferred, he said I was being transferred under a Senate bill. And at the time, Sandra Bland had just died. So this is what most people don't know. They got a Sandra Bland Act. And it was called SB Senate Bill something, but I had never heard it before. So the Sandra Bland Act in the state of Texas, because she had a smart mouth, and they took her to jail, and she hung herself, as they say. So now the Sandra Bland Act gives the police power to take you to the hospital if he deemed necessary. So let me tell you the difference. You would much rather go to jail than the hospital. Because the hospital, you can be kept forever. You don't have no due process. So that's why our government is pushing mental health. That's why if the police come and you got a smart enough mouth, that's how they make you disappear. So they knew that, right? But none of us know about the Sandra Bland Act because it had just got passed. So black people was clapping for this act. So if they would have took Sandra Bland to a hospital, we would have never heard of her again. Because it's called a civil commitment. They started practicing and doing this with child molestation. See, they start using unjust laws on people who they think is deemed less than worthy of themselves, right? Black people. So they try this out on us first. So they started using civil commitments on child molestation who they think would get out and probably do it again. So they would be sentenced to 15 years. When it's time for them to come home in 15 years, they would send them to a civil court. And the court would say, man, we think you go again. You can't never be free. So they put you into a civil commitment. They can do that to the average human, but we don't know that, the average American. So I due process rights are taken. So I go to jail. From jail, you can look me up. Okay, we see he in jail. From jail to the mental hospital, you disappear. Because under the HIPAA laws, they can't release your medical information. So your family called and said, man, we can't find him. We don't know where he is. Ma'am, we don't know what you're talking about. We looked at all the jail. Nick, if you can't never make the call, but by the time you make the call, they done shot you up with drugs. You don't see a judge. So no one is saying, hey, and you can go get on the phone and call somebody. You don't have to ask to use the phone. It's girls and men and women. So it's like you and your neighbors in there. So when Lisa say don't say nothing, I don't say nothing. So under the Sandra Bland Act, I was transferred to a mental asylum for making threats against the police. And I was ready to go to war. But where I at home, I had been going to the gun range all that week, and I was going live showing how I've been practicing on my long range distance shooting. Yeah, but I'm just bullshitting, you know. And so when I get pulled over, I got over 300 rounds of ammunition. I got all kind of black liberation gun manuals. I got a whole bunch of shit. I'm looking like a domestic terrorist. Plus the shit I've been saying. So yeah. So the night of Officer Garrett Hull's funeral, I held security at the mother's house because the police were riding by there intimidating them. So homie, the police some dirty motherfuckers, the bad ones, not the good ones, but you do some one of them, homie, they turn into a vengeful gang. And they torment your family, everybody. So every black preacher in the city was afraid to have the funeral. Well, I done got into it with every black preacher in the city. Dr. Bell, I done got into it with every black preacher. So let me just say this. Nothing can happen to a black person in the black community without the white people first going to their religious leaders. The black people give the okay for us to be killed. The black people have to give the head nod for Malcolm. It's a black person, someone in the planning of this, and even with Malcolm. So at one point in time, all the black preachers, because I had become so polarizing amongst white people, all the black preachers in Fort Worth said, man, they got together and they told an elder guy by the name of Eddie Griffin, man, what we gonna do about this young brother Charleston White? Well, at the time, Eddie Griffin was my mentor. They wanted me to get away from Pops, because Pops a street nigga. So Eddie Griffin said, oh, man, don't worry about Charleston, I got him. Once I couldn't be controlled, the police came to me one time and said, Charleston, what's your relationship with Pops? Why you so homie? They wanted me to get away from that old man because of the knowledge that he would feed me. Not that my love for white people was changing. I was starting to learn how to love us because of those showed me how to love us. So I started saying. So they sent Deputy Chief Dean. They sent Sheriff Bill Wayburn. Sheriff Bill Wayburn came to me while at a function with Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. So I might have some very influential white people that and I remember the old told me, homie, he said, the worst thing you can do, homie, is for white folks to know your name as a black man. You don't want white people to know your name. So he said, yeah, white people know your name. So when I do this, I hold security for the family by myself. No Muslim would do it, no Crip and Blood. So this is when I realized it was cowards. Farrakhan, the Crips, the Bloods, the RBG, nobody wanted to stand against the police, homie. So I bagged my little old car up in the driveway with my guns. I smoked weed all night long. It was an RBG there drinking with no gun, playing like he tough. I held security so this family can get some rest, this mother. And that's when I disappeared after that. I done stood 10 toes down.
Wait, you never explained how you got out the mental hospital.
I'm finna tell you. So I stood 10 toes down with white people. So the first nurse that I seen, she was a black African lady, and she knew I wasn't homicidal. She knew I wasn't suicidal. She just online showing his ass. But nigga, this is done by your government. This is higher up saying, do this. So she says, yeah, let me call your mother, make sure you don't harm yourself. So she recommended I go home. The black doctor, because they don't have a white boy do it. So the black doctor said, no, I think you may try to hurt a politician. Well, why ain't I charged? Why ain't I charged then? Because y'all like to give a nigga criminal record. Well, the mental health strips me of my guns. The mental health strips me of my gun, right? If they can get the mental health tag on me. But they can't mental health me. I have no history. So they keep me. They transfer me to JPS. I never see a real doctor. This one I knew this shit is a game. For one, I got Medicare, Medicaid. If I didn't have Medicare, Medicaid, they wouldn't have done that. Because who's gonna foot the bill? You see what I'm saying? Number two, they want to abruptly snatch me off the streets to see what kind of drugs is in the nigga system. Cause that's one of the first things you do is take you.
Okay, so you took a blood test.
You're not going past intake if you don't take a blood test. You'll never get out if you don't do that. So in the process of intake, I'm looking at niggas as employees. The niggas who work there are saying, say, homie, what's up? Nigga, I don't supposed to be here because everybody know me in this city. And everybody looking like, man, they fucking over you, nigga. But they can't say it because they got to keep their job. So I go act like I'm on the phone, say, man, nigga, how you get out of here? Shit, nigga, you got to take the medicine. Take what medicine? Nigga, ain't nobody told me I got to take no motherfucking medicine. Shit, the doctor. What doctor? Man, I ain't seen no doctor. White. Medication. What medication? That doctor didn't say I had to take no medication. Mood stabilizer. What you mean a mood stabilizer? You seem like you upset. I'm being held without my will. So they got all kind of ways to play on you. So first night, I'm considered high risk because I'm asking questions like, man, do we get to go outside? So now they're saying, oh, he gonna try to escape. So they put me where the craziest of the crazy motherfuckers. Where you look at the motherfuckers and say, man, what time is it? I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And say, nigga, say, man, goddamn work. So nigga, this nigga in the twilight zone. Trying to break a nigga mind, homie. They trying to break a nigga. So my mama said, son, I don't know what you done to get yourself out of it. Whatever you done, you got to get yourself out of there. So I'm thinking, I done grew up in the boys' home. I'm a state baby. This the same system. Play the system. So I started working the groups. Man, I'm having problems. Yeah, homie, and I never saw a doctor. I never saw a doctor, but they were giving me drugs day one. And if you refuse the drug, they shoot you with them. The drugs is like, it arrests your mind, your soul, and your emotions. It takes your mind, your soul, and your emotion, and it puts it in a closet somewhere in your body, and you're just there as a shell. And people there talking to you saying, yeah. But the real you say, man, I'm on this medicine. Hey, man, no, this ain't me. But you saying, yeah. So nigga, time they give you a lawyer, but by the time you see your lawyer, yeah. Nigga, you on medication. How else you get out of here? Take the medicine. It's a money game, homie. So I refused the medicine at first because I'm saying, what's the side effects? They said, well, there's no side effect. I'm telling this nurse who's trying to give me medication, everything got a side effect. You don't even know what you're signing. You just signing. So I never got diagnosed. So this one I knew it was full of shit. I said, they just trying to break it. I never seen a doctor. I kept seeing student doctors. Coming from college, student doctors. So after 7 days, an attorney finally come, because now they want to take you before a judge. But what else do they have to take me for a judge other than this internet character? So they released me. I never seen a judge. I never seen a real doctor.
Never took the medicine.
I had to take the medicine.
Oh, man.
You got to listen, before your lawyer show up, you're already full of medicine. You won't go nowhere if you don't take the medicine, because they can't get their money if you don't take the medicine. And the medicine is to get you hooked, to keep on taking the medicine. So what they do is they make a referral. Now, if you go with that referral, they got your ass once you get out. So by the time I see the doctor, I'm 7 days in. Yeah. Now, you know how much money they probably made after 7 days? Oh, okay, we can release him. I never seen a judge. So the medical record says that I was deemed homicidal and suicidal by ideation and preparation. Homicidal and suicidal by ideation and preparation. So every time I get pulled over by law enforcement, they say I want to be killed by a cop. They draw down on me. I never have a regular because I'm deemed as a and I got a lot of guns.
So that's on your record?
That's on my medical record.
Wow.
So can't no regular police deal with me regularly. When my name is red.
They got a call for back.
Yeah. Because they say I'm homicidal. But this is where they fucked up at. With marijuana psychosis, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as marijuana psychosis. So that's how I can still go purchase guns, because it's bullshit.
I was about to ask you about the guns.
It's bullshit. There's no such thing. Yeah, I'm homicidal and suicidal. At the time, I was ready to die. When I realized I was in jail on the first day, you couldn't have made me believe it wasn't going to be a bunch of black people out there when I wake up. Let him go. Let him go. I would go look out the window like or lean on me and see a bunch of, let him go. Let him. Boy, when I was sitting by that window looking out and wasn't nobody there. Say, boy, that second day, I just knew they finna bust through the walls to come get me. When did nobody die? Was nothing. The old words came to my mind. He said, ain't nobody getting in the car with you and you fight police. You go downtown and talk bad to white people. What? Don't know do that. Dr. King didn't talk to white folks like you. Malcolm didn't talk to white folks bad. So this is what made me turn to the niggas. Because they ain't got no mental asylum to erase me in. That's what made me say, you gangbanging. Why you don't say nothing to white folks? Because white folks will do this to me. You ain't gonna do nothing.
Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It goes a long way to help the channel. And as always, remember to put God first, stay engaged, and stay informed. Peace.
Oh, yeah.